Oh, well, his team are suffering with sadness and, as he says, in a bad moment. Graeme, what do you make of that?
Well, I don't understand, the word sad. I think, self-esteem, the professional athletes, professional players have lost games before. They've been in a bad run before. And I think it's slightly concerning for Spurs looking at them after that performance today. I think Liverpool beat them easily in midweek. And I think they've been well beaten again today. By a team that's in and around the relegation dogfight. Concerning times, I think. I think Harry Kane is their superstar, is their go-to man. He's the one that gets them out the whole time and time again. He'll score a goal, it'll change the way the game's panning out. And you can't say without him they're anything like a proper team. I thought it was a pretty dismal performance by them today.
How much did they miss Kane?
Oh, they missed him so much today. Like, he's the one that actually drops deep, connects the midfield of the attack, sends balls in for Son. Son definitely missed him today, and it was sadness to see. It was actually a sad game for him, because you got to understand, when Harry Kane is not playing, it affects the whole team properly. I know Jamie knows that even when Harry has been playing, they're still in a bad way. So I don't know how they're going to get out of this rut. But for me, I think they have to work harder than what they showed today. This
was the statistic that Jose railed against a little bit. The 9 matches since they beat Arsenal. We were together that night, Jamie and Graeme and myself, when they went top of the table. They'd beaten Arsenal. Everything was rosy. But after that, you've seen the drop-off in results. Can you explain that, Jamie?
Well, the one thing that has bothered me about the way that Jose set his team up of late, and when I think back to that game, and Graeme and I think we're pretty much on the same wavelength, that I didn't get too excited by it. But they had a system and a style of playing that really worked for them. And in that midfield, workmen like there, Højbjerg and Sissoko, that at times would even drop into the back four to give them an extra body in there. So hard to beat, so hard to play against. And they played Ndombele ahead. And then obviously you had the likes of Kane and Son. I'm not sure if it was Bergwijn, whoever it was in the wide area, it didn't really matter. But he's gone away from that for some reason. And he almost feels, for me, when I see Jose playing in a team that's as open as what they are right now, that's against his principles completely. And I think Ndombele is a talented player, but in a 2, that's a risk. He's never played that way, ever in his career. Jose Mourinho teams have always had midfield, when you look at like some Makelele and Essien, and even when he went to Inter Milan, it's players that would do a great job, and then you'd have 1 or 2 that could obviously do the magic up front. But defensively, they were always so sound. But he's gone away from that. Like today, he ends up playing Sissoko at right back. You've got Doherty, who you signed in as right wing back. Sorry, first off, you've got Doherty, who you signed as a wing back on the bench. He's making a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes. Now, it's very easy, and he said at least 6 times in that interview, the last half an hour. In the last half an hour, Gareth Bale come off. So that's pretty much what he's alluding to right there.
You think so?
I know so. I've seen enough Jose Mourinho interviews to know when he's digging someone out, subconsciously, whatever way you look at it. And I think there's too many things that I don't like right now. I look at this Tottenham side, and when Jose's, his mannerisms, the way that he puts little messages out to people, not good signs, to be honest. Not good signs, because they were flying early in the season. I didn't buy into it that they could win the title, but I looked at a Tottenham side, I thought everyone's pulling together. He's had a fallout of Aurier this week, and I can imagine that's quite easy to do. The way that he's, like Dele Alli not being in the squad, I can imagine a lot of people don't like the way that Gareth Bale's been treated as well right now. So and he's got to do more, don't get me wrong, but you can't expect him today. Everyone thinks that Gareth Bale's going to come in after hardly playing any football and play amazing. It doesn't work like that. He needed more minutes.
To win games at this level, you're playing against a team that's fighting for its life. So the first thing you're going to say to them is, look, we're in for a physical encounter today. And, OK, you're better players individually, but collectively, if you don't match them for effort, we could get beat. That's all my coaches said to me and my teammates when I was at Liverpool. Yeah, you're top of the league. You're the best football team out there. But unless you match them for effort, you will lose today. And that, it doesn't matter how good you are, that is the case and always will be the case. And I don't think Spurs, certainly for the largest part of the game, a good 3/4 of that game, came anywhere near the energy levels that Brighton showed and the aggression that Brighton showed. They were always second to things. When I say that, When you close down, it's no good you going. You do the hard work to close down that ball. And it made, at times, especially in the first half, it made Brighton look as if they're an extra man on the pitch.
And
it was
against
easy
a
for
nice
them.
team. They're a nice team to play against Brighton. They're not a team that's going to bat out.
Well, that's why they've only won 3 times prior to today. They just want, whatever reason, Spurs were not at it today. And you say he's got to light a fire under them. He's got to somehow, make them the team they were a couple of months ago.
With speculation.
With Jose, though, Graeme, we've seen how he manages situations, how he manages squads when it goes right and when it goes wrong. How do you? He's got a delicate balance right now, though, with that Tottenham squad.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and again, I come back to it. I've been there where you get so frustrated by the group you're working with. You think, right, I've tried to be the nice guy. I've tried to put my arm around them. I think I've shown them everything I can show them, and you end up falling out with 1 or 2, and that's the dangerous road to go.
Well,
down.
Jamie, let me ask you this: they're 6th right now. They finished 6th last season. Where would you expect them to finish?
Oh, at the start of the year?
Yes.
I think they should certainly be challenged. I didn't believe they could win the title when everyone was talking about that, I have to be honest. Top 4 is their aspiration. With the players you've got, we've got Kane and Son. There's not a better partnership in the Premier League when they're on the form that they were. Defensively, I thought he'd sorted things out. But it's really unravelling quickly. That's the bit I don't like. And as I said, I've seen that film before too many times with Jose. And the results are really going against him, performances, falling out with people. He's got to somehow change that pattern really quickly. And it's not really... When I always think back to Jose, he doesn't do that often enough. And I'm not saying we're in desperate times right now, but that lack of effort and desire was something that really surprised me with that performance today.
Sorry, go on, Carlton.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, at half-time, what is he saying to the players in that changing room? Because he needed to say something, and he needed a reaction. And he didn't really get a reaction at half-time. They came out, and it was still the same pace. I was still slow. The pace of the ball wasn't quick. It didn't look like they was going to win anything. And it didn't bode well for the team. And it obviously played into Brighton's hands.